Hey, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Acting from All Angles. Today, we're going to be talking about AESOP and celebrating getting the rough cut done, which is very exciting. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Julianne Lichty Stratton, and I am the creator of Actors in Action Professional Acting Conservatory, where we teach actors to be able to do their best work in callbacks, auditions, bookings, whatever it is. We have a really specific technique that we use and teach them how to kick butt. So, and today I am live from my studio where I teach, and we're going to talk a little bit about AESOP. Okay, so some of you are thinking, what is AESOP? AESOP is a series, made for TV series that I have been working on with my production company, Illyrium Productions. And it's been a bit of a journey. We actually shot our very first day of it a year ago, yesterday, I believe it was, or September 10th. Maybe it was September 11th. I can't remember which. Anyway, so today's the 13th of September, and finally, a year later, I got the rough cut done. I know it took a while, and usually post-production doesn't have to take that long. Some people it takes longer, some people it takes shorter amount of time, but I kind of took my own sweet time. I had a lot of other stuff going on. I teach, as you know that, I teach full-time. I did a couple of different showcases. I'm doing an adaptation for a play for No Exit. I'm actually translating it from French with the help of Google, and taking a couple of other adaptations and putting together something really great for No Exit, which we will be performing at the Eccles Black Box, the Regent Street Theater, in January 10th, 11th, and 12th. So, AESOP, let's talk about rough cuts. Let's talk about making your own material. So AESOP came to me, the story came to me as I was working with some of my students. I'm often inspired to write things from people that I work with. And I just had this idea. I wanted to make a short little film, and maybe like a 5-minute film. And I started writing, and I started involving other people, and people were like, you know, this really should be a series. This is a cool story. So I started writing a little bit more about it. And we shot it at the state hospital down in Provo at their castle. They have an amphitheater castle there, and we shot a lot of stuff there. I should I'll post some pictures at the end here. And it was an amazing feat. We had about $3,000, and we shot 2 days, and then we had one more additional day a couple of weeks later where we shot a bunch of we shot some additional scenes. So the editing of it was very intricate. It took a lot of time because there were a lot of very intricate scenes and a lot of very intricate shots, and putting everything together in a way that worked. Also, I feel like we didn't really get enough coverage of what we needed for the scenes. And that was mainly my fault because I directed it, and I've directed before, and I know what to do, but I didn't quite map everything out the way I should have. And I think it's always difficult being the director with learning curves and figuring things out. So it was very intricate putting this together. Like I said, I was really super busy with a lot of other things, but getting it done has actually been quite an emotional experience for me. I think one of the big reasons that I dragged my feet with this or didn't make enough time for it to get it done quickly is I have some anxiety issues, and I think I was scared to go ahead and get it done. You know, completing things, I think, can be daunting sometimes to some of us. Some of us don't have problems with that at all. Some of us have problems with starting. Some of us have problems with getting through the middle part, and some of us have problems with ending, finishing things, or maybe with all three. I don't know. I'm certainly a starter. I can start lots of things. And so it was really important for me to finish this up, get it done. We still had 3 scenes that we needed to shoot, that we still need to shoot from it. We ran out of money. And we have 3 pretty big scenes that I would like to shoot with it. But what I did is I stuck with everything that happened in one location, in this dojo that this little boy is raised in, and these nuns, these bald nuns run it. And so we got that story done. Now, what is a rough draft? What is a rough cut? You might be asking me that if you've never made a film. So rough cut is basically where you get all the scenes edited together, all of the principal photography, the sound, the dialogue, that kind of stuff. Just the basic rough cut. This is what we're looking at. This is what we'd like it to look like, basically. And then you go in and you do some polishing. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch it again and see if there's little nuances that I can switch, or there's little things I can do to make it more interesting, to make the moments pop a little bit more, to lengthen or shorten whatever needs to be lengthened or shortened, to communicate exactly what is going on. If there's flashbacks, if there's introduction of characters, stuff like that. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to polish that up. And once that's polished, then there's so much more to do in post-production. So once it's polished, once that's set, basically, then I'm going to start working on the sound. And hey, hi, Elise is out there, hey. So then I'm going to start working on sound and also on color correction. And usually I just go rogue and do stuff myself because I'm pretty good at figuring stuff out. But I think I'm going to get some help with some coloring, making sure coloring, what I'm talking about with coloring is you want all the colors to match. You want one scene to blend into the other scene, or you don't want different takes to pop out and look different, like a slightly different color. You want it to all match. And then you want there to be an overall tone of colors that work and a richness to it. So I can do that somewhat, but I think I'm going to find somebody to help me really make the color, because if you've seen some of the images from AESOP, it really lends to beautiful, beautiful photography, beautiful images. And we also had Justin Page working on that, and he has a really great eye. Hey, he has a really great eye. Just one of my students got here. Hey, I'm doing Facebook Live. So he has a really great eye for the cinematic, and he made some really beautiful pictures. You want to come over here? I'm just talking about AESOP. So this is Althea,
Hi.
One of my students.
How are you guys?
So I'm just telling them I just finished the rough cut of AESOP today.
I loved it. I saw some of the stuff that you did. That was awesome.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
I can't wait to see the rest of it.
I know. Thank you. I can't either. So yeah. So I'm just telling them the process that after you do a rough cut, then you have to do color. You have to do color correction. You have to do sound. Then you have to get music in there. And I found this really awesome guy who worked on sound for me in another little short film I did called Jack. So anyway.
Awesome.
Oh, great. You don't have to see. She's like, I'm out here. So Dean Winter just helped me with this short film I have called Jack, which I just submitted to a bunch of different film festivals. So you take it for granted. You go to a film and you see everything. You see how beautiful it is. You hear the sounds. You hear the music. And you just take that for granted. But there's so much that goes in the post-production and behind the scenes with film work. There's so much that we need to do to make it really, really polished and good. So my husband keeps saying, okay, it's done, ship it off. And I'm like, no, I want it to look really good. So what I'm going to do with this pilot that I have, it's a little shorter than I wanted it because we didn't get to shoot those 3 other scenes, but I think I'm going to stave off on shooting those scenes, and instead I'm just going to polish up what I have, and then I'm going to continue to write some more episodes, at least a treatment for the next 9 episodes for it. And then I'm going to approach some production companies here in Utah that are interested in medieval, post-apocalyptic, cool stories like that. So we've got a couple of them here that I am going to approach and see if we can get this made, which would be really, really amazing to have something like this in Utah, to have something that we can all be really proud of, have such a cool and a fun story. And one thing that I really love about the story is that it's multicultural. So the idea of it is it takes place after there's been an apocalypse, about 1,000, 2,000 years after that. So the world has been plunged into the Dark Ages again, or medieval times. But there's just a hodgepodge of people. So there's lots of different ethnicities. There's Asians, there's African Americans, there's Caucasian people, there's American Indians. Of course, they're not American Indian anymore, Native Americans, but there's people from many different cultures, and they've all mixed in. Because basically the overall gist of AESOP is about the survival of the human race. and how we need to bond together, they need to bond together and find a way of working together so that they can save the human race, basically, which I think is not unlike what we actually are going through right now in our current political and whatever situation. There's a lot of upheaval. There's a lot of difficulty going on. So that's the process. I'm going to polish it up, and then I'm going to approach these other production companies and see if I get somebody who's interested, and see if we can go ahead and get this going. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about AESOP, or if you want to see any footage or any images, you can certainly look on this Facebook page, Actors in Action. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. All right? Okay, have a great night. We will talk to you next week on Acting from All Angles, and will send me your questions and let me know what you want to have discussed for acting. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.